Having covered low-track Gravity in a previous video, we'll now be tackling its predecessor. Gravity CH120MF was considered to be the best overall combo of the Metal Fight Limited format for quite some time, for the simple reason that it felt like it could do just about anything. It can change height to more reliably deal with 230 combos, it uses the MF tip to be able to stall hardcore defense combos, and spin opposite and catch the ridge against same height rubber attack combos. It has enough attack power to knock out stamina types it cannot reasonably outspin either. If Flame 230 CS is a more passive balance combo, then Gravity CH120MF is on the opposite side of the balance spectrum, being a much more aggressive jack of all trades, heavily reliant on matchup knowledge and skill to execute perfectly, but when done, it does feel like it can do just about anything. In this How to Beat video, I will be covering Gravity CH120MF's hardest counters, from easiest to most difficult to pull off, with varying degrees of success. First we have Earth 85 CS. I have this at 1 out of 10, just weak launch. This is a basic low track defense combo. Unlike other defense combos that rely on grip, using CS here is not just preferred, but almost mandatory to beat something like Gravity CH120MF. If you use RS, RSF, or RB, it's likely you'll be outstalled and outspun by a left-spinning Gravity CH120MF. It simply doesn't need to knock you out, even if it could. What this combo highlights, though, is that Gravity on MF can have a really hard time knocking anything out after its first two hits. Even just Earth on CS presents a serious challenge sometimes that you can capitalize on to ruin Gravity's day. This is especially true if you launch intelligently and in a defensive manner. On top of being a bit difficult to knock out for Gravity, CS also gives Earth enough endurance to help ensure it doesn't get outspun by Gravity on MF, like other rubber defense tips are more prone to doing. Number 2 is Lightning 90RF. I have this at a 2 to 3, just launch hard. This is a personal favorite of mine because Lightning is a monster from below and at its best at this height. Gravity on MF doesn't really have an option but to stall in this matchup, but things are already too out of its favorite for it to really have much autonomy. Usually the Gravity combo aims to be in the opposite spin direction to its opponent, meaning players normally brain off and tie it to left spin, making this a lot less tricky for Lightning, as it doesn't have to hit a brick wall head on, but chase it out of the stadium. Next we have Rock 100R2F. I have this at 3 out of 10, just launch hard. As mentioned, Gravity on MF tends to be locked in as a left spin combo more often than not, so a right spin attack combo may run into some trouble. With that said, Rock is an exceptional attack wheel into other aggressive options due to its smooth, well-balanced, but recoil-laden shape. It gets under Gravity CH120 at just the right height more often than not, making for a good shot at a knockout. And depending on the condition of your RF or R2F, you can also go for an outspin. Now we have Bakukushin 90MF. I have this at a 3 out of 10, you just launch hard. This is another classic option to counter just about any aggressive combo. The Bakukushin combo aims to get under Gravity and either knock it out or destabilize it enough to secure an outspin victory. I would consider this to be a bit safer than some other attack options that either blow up or get blown up by Gravity in the 50-50. Now we have same spin low track attack. I have this at 5 out of 10. As I mentioned, it's a 50-50. Gravity CH120MF is a monster against opposite spin combos because it can speed at you like a bull and nullify most attackers, resulting in either a simple knockout for Gravity or an outspin later. With that said, same spin low track attack of any kind tends to have a good to excellent advantage against Gravity CH120MF. So, if you can mind control your opponent off of left spin, you can go for something like a low screw, or predict the very obvious left spin and go with a Hasbro El Drago Destroy if you don't like lightning. Finally, we have weak launching stamina combos at about 6 to 7 out of 10. Just use Rightman. I picked this particular combo as a good example of what is possible, not necessarily a true counter specifically. This is more a showcase of an idea that I somewhat touched on in my first counter option. Gravity on MF is decent offensively, but doesn't generate the big hits you may be used to seeing from an RF based combo. As good as it is overall, this lack of pure rage can open it up to some silly weak launch losses. If you really weak launch, along with maybe some lucky wall saves sometimes, you can make some even pretty recoil-laden stamina combos sneak out a win against the most versatile combo in Limited. It's a pure robbery, and certainly not guaranteed, but incredibly fun to make happen.